sidearm, first, don't keep the elbow close to the body. Just don't throw like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's wrong. Power's going to come back here. The second thing is that we want to make sure it's a forward-facing run-up, right? When your lower half of your body stays forward and the upper half of the body rotates, you're going to get some tension right here in your core. You will for sure, Doug. You maybe not, but still mechanically, you're not going to be thrown across your body. So even if you don't get that tension, you still want to be facing forward. So it's a forward-facing throw. Lower half of your body is rotated, lower half of the body straight, upper half rotates. Now there is, even if it's not super tension, there's still some resistance there, right? It's still being turned. Lower half of the body stays forward, snapping the upper half back into position. All right, that's where the power is going to come from. Your run up is just left, right, left. You're just walking forward. That's it. Two different backswings, both of them correct. This is not, one is right and one's if you can't do that one, like they're both right. It's a coin flip who's which. It's like 60-40 probably windmill to pendulum, but they both get to this position right here. So the pendulum comes here, the windmill comes there, they're going back to the same spot. That's why they're both correct. The difference is in how they start. So for you, the pendulum starts with the top of the disc facing away from you, and the first two steps, the only thing that's going to move is the shoulder. It's going to be left foot forward, disc forward, right foot forward, disc back. Lower half of the body straight, upper half of the body rotated, elbow not near the body. With the windmill for Doug, top of the disc starts facing towards you, left foot forward, disc forward. Keep that momentum going around. Lower half of the body straight, upper half of the body rotated, tension, elbow nowhere near the body. You're to the same spot. Now, both of you had something specific we were doing on the backswing. With you, we don't want to hyperextend the elbow, right? So the elbow, go ahead and start it, bend forward just a little bit, right? It's not here, because if it's here, now the elbow's next to the body. We still want to get you back here. So the elbow is going to be mostly straight, but just a little bend so it's not back and then popping back into position. Doug, what we're going to be doing, what we worked on or needed to focus on was two things. The first is that when the disc comes back, the steps are going to be one and then two. It's just this motion right here, right? The tendency is to want to come back here, go, and you're not throwing from back here, right? If you see the disc back here, let them know you don't want to be up here. It would be like having a backhand backswing. Like at some point you were here, right? It would, like, that would be so obvious. Well, it's the same thing. If you're doing this, well, you're doing the same exact thing. It's this. The same thing to look for, and there's another one to point out, Doug, is that you don't want to, it's called telephoning because I don't have a better word for it, but you don't throw from here. Same thing, there's no power coming from here, right? The power is going to come from being back here. So if you see the throw coming from here, aside from the fact that it just won't fly as far, just point out you want to get it back here. So it's going to be away from the body. Now, both of you in this position right here. On the third step, everything is exactly the same for both throws. Plant first, and then throw a ball, right? So first and foremost, the three-step run-up is not 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, plant, throw. With the pendulum, it's 1, 2, plant, throw. If you were a baseball pitcher, they would tell you to drive into the ground before you threw. With both of you, the reason why it's throwing the ball, and both of you had a tendency to do this, but only sometimes, you both could not do it, is the reason it's a ball is you don't want to throw the disc like this. There's not a swooping motion. You come over the top like this. So when you're standing upright, you're actually going to throw like a 10 degrees Anheuser because you're throwing like this. If either of you throw and you see the top of the disc, 100%, that means you did this right there, right? So it's this motion here, not that motion there. It's a ball, not a frisbee. Got to cock the wrist back, okay? So with both throws, the disc is firmly gripped in the hand. Oh, and by the way, let's talk about it real quick. So your grip is fine. I'm fine with you doing this grip right here. If this is the more comfortable one, all things being equal, I like 2 fingers on the rim. because it's a longer lever. But if this is more comfortable, I'm not ever wired to a specific grip. I'm wired to specific grip rules. So you're gripping with 2 fingers is the rule, and at least 1 finger's out here for getting along the lever. Take your thumb, keep your thumb forward, up to where you can feel the lip of the disc. Now with both of you, disc is firmly gripped, but the wrist is loose. That's because on the pendulum, or on the windmill, on the second step, the disc will go 1, 2, it falls back into place. On the pendulum, it is 1, 2, falls back into place. But in both cases, you're throwing from here. That's because when you plant, everything at this point right here, it's all wrist. So reach forward, plant, and then wrist, right? That's where everything comes in the wrist. You mentioned on your backswing that when you went back too far, the thumb came off the disc. I would say that is too far. So I always say to go back as far as you can, but everybody's hands are different, the grips are different. That's why there's not a universal grip. So I would say get the disc here as far as you can go back with the thumb staying here, it's here. If it starts to come off the disc, that's too far. So don't sacrifice grip. So go back as far as you can without sacrificing grip. One last thing, so everything we've been doing is, this is the mechanics, the 3/4 throw, or to throw like with a 3/4 sidearm. It's gonna be an anhyzer, like 15%. You wanna throw it flat, happens here, lean over. Hyzer, anhyzer, but the disc, relative to my body, this throw is the same as this throw relative to my body. So that's where the angle comes from. You wanna have a really extreme angle, at some point you'd have to lower your arm, but that is almost a trick shot, a spike hyzer or really weird hyzer flip. When you do that, it's more like a frisbee throw, so it's 95% of sidearms take place from here to here. So that's where you want to be. With putt, both of you guys are like exact, you had different putts, but it was the exact same things with both of you. You want to not putt from up here and then jab it. You want to swing down a little farther. That way you can use some shoulder. You putt more of like a sploosh putt, like a little more pushy sploosh putt. You do more of a spin putt, but even a spin putt, I want to come down here and then do more of this. But with both of you, it's the exact same thing. The follow through, drive at the target and leave the hand out there until the disc gets to the basket. That is everything. When you follow through out here, you're gonna miss. If you follow through right at the target and do this, you'll make it only if the timing was precise. If you follow through right here, the disc basically goes where you're aiming. So that is the rule. The disc, you know, that paint the pole, shake hands with the basket, I totally agree with all those. But leave your hand out, chang,